these are two teams that absolutely have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl this year. But the thing with the Lions, after that Week 1 loss, everyone was talking about losing both their coordinators. They beat up on the Bears last week, but that's the Bears. They're still finding their way. What did this game from Detroit show you about the Lions?
Absolute statement, and you got to put them in the conversation as one of the best teams in the NFC. You know, obviously, Philly's up there. I think the Rams are up there. The Packers are up there. And the Lions are right there. You can put those teams, kind of roll them together. The run game tonight was something special, Jay. And if you watch her on these runs, obviously we want to watch the runner, Montgomery or Gibbs. But look at the offensive line right here. Look at the bodies getting up the field. This was hard. Here we go again. We're just a double team inside. We're grinding. We're grinding yards here. We're beating teams up. You know what they say? Finish with your man in the end zone if you're an offensive lineman there. Numerous guys done it. I couldn't say enough. Here's my favorite play. Oh, you got your pitch key. We flip it out. Jay, the performance that this offense did tonight, I thought, one, Jared Goff was spectacular throwing the football. He was very, very accurate. But up front, they physically beat up the Baltimore Ravens, and they unleashed the two-headed monster, averaged over 6 yards per carry. Like you said, over 220 rush yards. They are back. You know, Week 1, we're on this desk. I thought, hey, kind of a fluke, bad situation. They got down a little bit. It was a tough ordeal. Like you said, they came back, smack Ben Johnson, the Bears, and you wonder how much stock to put in that because the Bears aren't a great team. This is a statement win all day, all day.
Got to feel good if you're a Lions fan. If you're a Ravens fan, okay, so you've got close losses to the Bills and the Lions now, two really good football teams, so you can't forget about that. But we've seen from this Ravens team, Luke, just that inability to win games like this, especially in the playoffs. Why do you think that is?
It's tough to exactly pinpoint it, Jay, but I remember when we were rolling in Seattle back in the day, Pete would just say, hey, make sure you're doing right longer. That was a big Pete Carroll saying, do right longer. Just continue to do things right. And in these games that the Ravens have against great opponents, they just have these minor, lapses, whether it's focus, whether it's, determination, I'm not sure. And it started first down from the 1 with Derrick Henry, and we get no points.
Yeah, that was wild.
And again, in a game against a great opponent, you cannot simply have that. Then you have 7 sacks tonight. It was an absolute fire sale at that. Down the field, we just couldn't figure it out. And then you go into this right here, which is such a tough play. Again, hats off to Hutchinson. Great 6-inch punch there. Yeah. That's the Bruce Lee 6-inch punch. You got to love it. But that's what we used to call it. We used
Game of death.
Yes, we used to have Bruce Lee highlights at the facility.
I love it.
It's just one of those things where when you're playing, a Chiefs, a Bills, a Lions team, these plays come back to haunt you, and it did again tonight. And what's tough if you're a Ravens fan is it's not a talent issue. When you start and you watch the first quarter of that game, Lamar looks great. Henry had the big run in the first quarter there. The boys are humming. Bateman had a solid night. Zay Flowers was quieter today, but obviously a tremendous talent. Mark Andrews, who everyone thought was over the hump, certainly turned back the clock tonight. And it's just so frustrating because, and again, the Lions made some plays, but if you're a Ravens fan, you feel like some of these are self-inflicted.
Dan Campbell, I wanted to bring him up. This is kind of weirdly a make-or-break moment this season for Dan Campbell in the sense that now he doesn't have those previous coordinators that everyone thought were geniuses, especially Ben Johnson. Now he's got his hand-picked coordinators. He brings his guys in, and it's just it seems to be working. Like he's continuing exactly. It's like, did we underestimate Dan Campbell, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
I think to a degree, yes.
Yeah.
And, Jay, you said it. Like, culture is such an important thing in this league, and you can't really quantify it. And I'm telling you, I've lived it where when everyone has bought into the messaging from your head guy, you get performances like you saw today. You go on the road to Baltimore and you push the Ravens around. The guys look ferocious on the sideline. Even Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator, at numerous times, flexing on the sideline. The boys are fired up. Both the defense and the offense are interacting on that sideline. It stems from your head coach. I'm telling you, he's the one driving this bus. And you just see the energy. You see the grit. I know it's all grit. And you got to tip your cap. Nobody in the history of the Detroit Lions has ever been, seriously, has ever been able to consistently do this for this franchise as a head coach.
He brings a lot of pride. It's really wild how he's turned everything around there.
And they look incredible. Like, that is again, I know I keep saying it, it is a statement primetime performance.
And this is a team you grew up watching, so you understand the pain that fan base has felt for a long, long time.